This video and all content on this channel is performed by a pest control professional, and it is always recommended to hire a pest control pro in your area to perform any pest control in or outside your home. Pesticides can harm you and your loved ones. Anyone who is performing the information in this video is doing so at their own risk. If you decide to try the info provided in this video, please always check with the local laws in your area and read the labels of any product you use. The label is the law. Hey everybody, this is Jason Akers again with Green Acres Pest Control. And today I want to talk about bees. I want to talk about hornets, yellow jackets, and yes, even honeybees. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, consider subscribing to my channel. So, it's summertime. I get a lot of calls this time of year for bees, for whether it's honeybees, yellow jackets, bald-faced hornets, European hornets. I get calls for hornets and bees and wasps, and it's that time of year where people are mowing the grass and they may mow over a nest of yellow jackets, and there's a hole in the ground. Or I just did a nest of European hornets the other day for a lady, and it was up in a tree about the size of a basketball. And in fact, I'll link a video right here. I'll show you, Rory actually broke the nest open, and it was a pretty cool video. And if you're interested in seeing more videos like that one, head over to my TikTok. Links in the description below. I do lots of videos on things that YouTube won't allow me to put here, mainly because I like to use different music, and YouTube likes to copyright strike everything you do when it comes to fancy music or anything like that. So if you want to head over to TikTok, I do have a lot of little quick 1-minute clips on how to do different things and how to control different types of pests, including bed bugs, cockroaches, and bees. So anyway, it's real common to get calls this time of year on yellow jackets and bees and stuff like that. So I wanted to go over some ways that you yourself can eliminate bees without getting stung. I go after bees all the time. I never wear a bee suit. I'm just in my uniform. That's all I wear. I might roll my sleeves down or whatever, roll my sleeves up. Just depends on the situation. But typically, when I go after bees, all I'm wearing is what you see here. I do have a little bit of a net that I put over my face sometimes if I get into a really, really horrible situation, but that's a real rare thing. My reasoning around a bee suit is a lot of times bees will get caught under the suit. If a bee gets past a tape line, or your helmet maybe isn't zipped all the way on, and I call it a helmet, the face shield thing that goes on the front of your bee suit. Sometimes they don't get connected all the way, or you might miss a button or a snap or a zipper or something like that, and the bees will get into the suit. And if a bee gets in the suit with you, it is going to sting you and sting you and sting you and sting you, where if it flew up your shirt sleeve or a pant leg, at least you could take your clothes off and get the bees off of you. But in a bee suit, you're trapped in there. You're trapped in there, and you just have to let it sting you. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand about bees is that bees have a pheromone. So when a bee stings you, it marks you with a bullseye, with a pheromone that tells the rest of the hive, hey, here's the enemy, sting that guy right there. And that pheromone can last for several months, weeks to several months, in the fatty layer of your tissue. And so as an exterminator, it's a really bad thing if I go out here and I get stung by a bee. Here it is July, almost August, and you figure if it can last up to 90 days inside the fatty layer of your skin, and then I get up on another nest of yellow jackets and they come after me and start stinging me because they can see me. They know where I'm at. I've already been marked as an enemy by another nest. So this is something you do have to worry about when dealing with bees. So you don't want to get stung. Rarely am I stung. I don't think I've been stung by a nest of bees in it's been over 6 years now. It just doesn't happen very often. And on the job, I think I've only ever been stung maybe 3 or 4 times in over 30 years of doing pest control. It just doesn't happen because I know how to approach a nest. I know how to approach the bees. I know how to deal with them. And I'm going to teach you that today in this video. So when dealing with a nest of yellow jackets, let's say we're going to kill the hive that's in the ground. They've made a hole about the size of your thumb, and they're going in the ground. If you stand back and you watch the nest of yellow jackets, they'll fly in, and then they'll go in, and then they'll come out. Then they'll go in, and it's almost like a rhythm. So they will have so many bees go in, and so many bees come out, and then you'll have a break where it'll be like 4 or 5 seconds, and you won't see any bees. You might see a couple of bees around the hole, but most of the bees are actually either out gathering or they're in the hive. And so you can approach the hive at this point. Now, I don't spray bees. I don't, shoot wasp and hornet spray. I don't take my tank and spray chemical down in the hole. I don't pour gasoline on them. I don't use WD-40. I don't do any of these kind of things with bees. I dust them. So I have a hand bellows duster that I squeeze, I puff. So what I do is I fill it half full of dust. I shake it real good. And then I turn it upside down and I puff, 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 puff the nest full of dust. And it only takes a matter of, maybe 3 or 4 seconds. You puff as much of it as you can in that little hole in the ground, and then you jump back, you get away from those yellow jackets. And then you watch. You stand back about maybe 5 to 10 feet away, and you watch the hive. And if you see white bees come out of that hole in the ground, you know you hit the hive. Now, the reason that I use a dust to kill bees is because dust is it stirs up. So when the bees are flying back and forth through the dust, their wings will stir up the dust into the air. And through static electricity, it will actually stick to the hairs on their body. And when they travel back into the hive, they will actually rub against each other when they're communicating with one another, and they will spread the dust all around inside the hive. And usually within 24 hours, a nest of yellow jackets is dead. And another reason you want to use dust is because not all the bees are in the hive. Now, whatever you dust in the hive, if it penetrates good enough, then you'll kill a majority of everything that's in the ground. The problem is you have yellow jackets that are out foraging for food. They're looking for paper maybe to help build the nest, or they're looking for food and things to feed baby bees. And so when they're flying back and forth, not all the bees are in the hive. And this is one of the reasons why when people treat bees on their own and they spray them, they might kill a majority of them, but then in a couple weeks the bees are right back again because you never really eliminated the nest. You only eliminated part of the nest. So the rest of them are out gathering, food and stuff like that. Another reason why gasoline doesn't work is because gasoline evaporates. So if you, and not only that, but when nests of yellow jackets go in the ground, they don't just go straight down. They typically go straight down, and then they turn 90 degrees and they go in and they build their hive over here. So if you pour the gas right here and it pours down into the ground right here, the gas will kill some of the bees and it will evaporate up through the hole. So the vapor will kill some bees that are flying in and out, but that gas is going to evaporate. It's not going to get into the hive where it's over here, and you still have yellow jackets. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to people's homes and found that they have doused the bees with gasoline and it hasn't worked. That's one of the reasons I got stung. One of the times I got stung on a job was they had left the gas can in the ground. They actually poured the gas in and left the gas can upside down. And when I went out there to kill the yellow jackets, of course, I had to remove the gas can to get anything in the hole. And when I kicked that gas can free, yellow jacket came up and stung me. So that, I don't recommend gasoline. Like I said, for that reason, it's just not very effective. It works sometimes, but it'll also kill all the grass everywhere you use it too. And so I just don't recommend it. But dust works. Dust works. I don't think I have ever I haven't had to go back in 6 years to kill a nest of yellow jackets in the ground. I've owned my company for over 6 years, and I have never once had to go back when I could get the duster in the hole, in the ground, and dust that nest. I've never had to go back and deal with yellow jackets. In fact, it's the same thing if the yellow jackets are going into the soffit of a house, where they're going into the eave of a house, and they're, maybe you've got a brick home and you've got a soffit that meets the edge of the house right in there. Sometimes the yellow jackets will go up and they'll build a nest inside the soffit. And so they're going in and out around the edge of the house. If you dust in there and you get a real good all along that edge where they could possibly find a new way in, and they fly through that dust, that kills them too. Dust is very, very effective. And I've actually had people comment on some of my videos where I show how to kill bees, and they'll say, "Oh, I can't believe you use only dust. That is not going to work." It absolutely does. Don't believe those guys. That absolutely dust is the best, most effective way of getting rid of a nest of yellow jackets in the ground or in the wall of a home. Now, if you have a nest of, let's say, ball-faced hornets, which is also a type of a yellow jacket, if you've got ball-faced hornets, they make a basketball-sized nest, and that's like the nest I showed you where, Rory smacks a nest. That's ball-faced hornets. Now, the best way to get rid of those is you want to spray in the hole. Now, they make a nest, and it comes out, and it's like a little hole there, and I'll show you a picture. But when they're flying in and out through that hole, you have to spray that hole, because now you can see the nest. The nest isn't in the ground, it's up high. So you can actually treat the whole entire nest. So what you do is you approach slowly. You put your sprayer. I use Alpine WSG to kill yellow jackets. So if you have your B&G set to a pin stream, not a fan spray, but a pin stream. So it's a straight shot, just like what you get out of a nest, like a can of wasp and hornet spray. So you could pump it up, give it a lot of pressure. You start spraying that hole, and you kill those guard bees. Every hive of hornets has a couple of bees, sometimes 4 or 5 bees, that they will sit at the entrance of the nest. And these bees, their sole purpose is to do nothing but guard that nest. They look out for people like you that want to kill them. They look out for animals that might come by and eat them. And they will come out and they will start acting funny. They'll start doing a weird little dance at the entrance, and then all the hornets will come out at once and start attacking you. Those are the bees you want to hit first. You want to make sure you knock those bees out and kill them first. And then you continue to slowly approach the hive. And you take that wand and you stick it up in the hole, and you soak the hive really well. And if you're able to, I have a 15-foot extension pole that I use for webbing houses and stuff like that. I use that thing. That's what Rory actually broke the nest open with. He smacked it. And if you can do that and treat that nest really well and just soak it down, when the hornets return to that hive, they will die. They will not be able to reuse that nest, and that nest will be absolutely eliminated. And that's a very effective way of getting rid of bald-faced hornets. European hornets are the same way. Now, most people call European hornets bell hornets. It's the most common name that people use, because European hornets are a type of a bell hornet. You have European hornets, you have yellow jackets, and you have bald-faced hornets. These are all bell hornets. They make a bell nest. They make their nest out of paper, and it's like a ball. It looks like a soccer ball. All 3 of these bees make that. Now, European hornets typically make a long nest, and they usually go inside like a hollow tree, and sometimes they'll make their nest between 2 wall studs inside a wall, and you can dust them when they do that. I actually got rid of a nest of European hornets for a lady last year, where the bees were going into her attic, and they were actually going in through the edge of a soffit, like I was explaining earlier on how to get rid of yellow jackets. And that's the way we got rid of her hornets, was we treated that edge there, so that no matter where the bees came in to get into the house, they would fly through that chemical and they would die. And that was very effective. It worked. It got rid of all the hornets. So that's what I recommend. If you ever have bees or wasps or anything going up in the wall, that's how you get rid of them, was with a duster. But with European hornets, because they have multiple entries, they don't have just one little hole like a ball-faced hornet or a yellow jacket. They have multiple entries, because these big, huge bees, they're like, 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. They're big bees. So they have lots of multiple different ways to get into their hive. And so the way you get rid of a European hornet nest, if it's exposed and you can see it, then you need to spray that whole hive as much as you can. You need to soak that hive down, and you need to treat it really well. And this will be very effective at getting rid of European hornets. So hopefully this video has been informative. It has helped you understand how to get rid of hornets and bees. And if you like the video and you like the content, give me a thumbs up. Check me out every Thursday night. I live stream on YouTube where I will answer your questions. You can call me. I do phone consultations if you want to call me sometime. I do recommend that you go to the website listed in the description below, and it says click here to talk to Jason, or book a time to talk to Jason, or whatever, if you want to do that on your own. Or like I said, come over Thursday nights, live stream. I have a phone number that I purchased specifically for my live stream, and you can call in, and everybody can hear you. So if you're shy and you don't want people to hear you live on the internet with anywhere from 50 to 100 people listening to you, then don't hesitate to book a consultation. I have no problem talking to people on the phone. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully you guys are able to get rid of your problems, and thumbs me up, like me, follow me, and y'all have a great day. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.